This is Kyrie Irving. And as a basketball player, you, especially in the NBA, you make a lot of money, right? One of the things I learned, I remember the very first. No, he did not. Did he? I don't remember if he said anything anti-Semitic. But anyway, so Kyrie Irving, he makes a lot of money, which means that he can host, functions for the family. How many of you guys have ever organized a family reunion or a family trip? If you have, give me a heart in the comments, right? So as a very, very rich man, Kyrie Irving planned a retreat for his family, and he planned this retreat with a company by the name of Elite Mind Solutions, which is run by a lady named Natasha McCartney. And she is a licensed psychologist, and she does, therapy and all these things. So it was a therapy retreat for Kyrie Irving's family. It was supposed to be held over 3 days, and it was scheduled for 50 to 60 people, right? Now, again, this was scheduled for 50 to 60 people, and then 115 people showed up, and then it became a total of 150 people. Now, if you rent out a venue, right? If you rent out a venue and you tell them 60 people are coming, and then 150 people come to the venue, what is going to happen? Tell me what's going to happen if you rent a venue and you say 60 people are coming and then 150 show up, right? Now, while you're deliberating that, at this family retreat that happened over the course of a weekend from June 28th to July 2nd, one of the attendees of the retreat died. So one of Kyrie Irving's family members passed away during this retreat, during which the owner of the company, she provided therapy and crisis management. She talked, she handled the ambulance and the police and making sure that things were taken care of so that Kyrie Irving and his family didn't have to deal with all of that in the midst of their tragedy, right? Now, you would think that after she did all that, she accepted the fact that you had almost triple the amount of people that you claimed for coming. You had an emergency that required her to do things that were outside of the scope of her job, and she had to deal with a death on the job. These are all very, very serious things, right? You would think that Kyrie Irving, being a man who makes a lot of money, wouldn't have an issue making sure people get paid. But Miss Natasha McCartney of Elite Mind Solutions is now suing Kyrie Irving for almost $400,000 because Kyrie has been dodging her ever since this retreat happened. This is why you need written contracts, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a written contract here. Why are you, Kyrie Irving, one of the most well-known current NBA players, why are you skipping out on a $400,000 contract with someone who provided and went above and beyond their services? This is why contracts are important, so that when people try and get away with stuff, no matter how big or how small, you have something written down so you can go to the court and say, hey, he contracted me for this service at this price. I did said things. I want my money. Apparently, Kyrie has been dodging her. She's been trying to get in contact with him. He has not contacted her. She's been hearing through third-party people. But I bring this story up to let you guys know. This is why it's important for you to have written contracts, because when you have a written contract, if somebody tries to, steamroll you or ignore you or, just essentially shirk their responsibilities, you can tell them, I'm going to take you to court because you owe me money. And you signed this paper saying that you would owe me the money. All right. Verbal agreements. Remember, we talked about verbal agreements last week with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Excuse me, Camille. And Brad Pitt. We talked about this last year. Verbal agreements, yes, they're not illegal, but they're really hard because people lie, people forget. This is why it's important to write your contracts down, have them memorialized so that nobody has to worry about forgetting and nobody has to lie. All right. But yeah, so I hope that Kyrie Irving settles this bill because that don't look good. You got a $400,000 bill out here, and this lady threw you a whole retreat. Mm-mm.